Richard Madeley has told of how he was robbed while having a drink in his local pub in what he's calling a malicious magic trick. The ITV star has claimed he wants to bring back capital punishment following the fiasco where the brazen thief made off with his mobile phone. "I loathe the man who did this to me," he explained, calling for the death of the man who stole his iPhone without him even noticing, reports the Mirror. Richard recalled the moment he clicked his mobile had been pinched 5 minutes after the mystery man disappeared. "I've always been against capital punishment, but after the week I've had him making an exception," the furious telly star wrote in The Spectator. "The return of the death penalty for iPhone thieves, if you please. By garroting, preferably." Detailing the incident, Richard explained, "I was in my local when a weird-looking guy shambling around the bar slammed a dog-eared magazine down on my table and demanded I buy it. When I refused, he swept it back again and wandered off. 5 minutes later I realized he'd smuggled my phone away underneath the magazine. I loathe the man who did this to me. Even so, I accept that garroting is probably a stretch too far." Richard was left frustrated at falling for such a bog-standard technique, adding, "So he'll settle for a straightforward hanging. Just as long as I'm the one allowed to pull the trapdoor lever, okay?" In November, Richard was left red-faced on Good Morning Britain after he was surprised on the show. The morning chat show pointed out it was BBC Radio Cumbria's 50th anniversary, where Richard worked back in the 1970s at the start of his career. GMB sourced a clip from the radio station in 1975, where Richard floored his co-host Susanna Reid with his very different voice. Susanna, 52, said, "BBC Radio Cumbria's 50th anniversary, and to remind you of your origins, here is Richard Madeley back in the day." 1976. The recording then played out in the studio, to which Richard covered his face, admitting, I'm actually blushing. I can't do that voice anymore. I sounded like a World War II newsreader. I'm from Essex, I'm from Romford, Essex. That's how I spoke when I worked for Carlisle, and I found out I was having to talk like that." To which Susanna teased, "Even the royals don't talk like that," with Richard replying, I know. Also last month, Richard revealed he was celebrating a huge milestone with his wife Judy Finnegan as the couple marked their 37th wedding anniversary. The iconic couple married in 1986, and Richard revealed they had actually been together for a total of 40 years, including their relationship before marriage. Good Morning Britain airs weekdays on ITV and ITVX from 6 a.m.